That paints the picture beautifully here at Oran Park. Just the huge crowd that's turned up to watch the final sprint round of the 99 Shell Championship Series as the cars roll up to the grid. This is it, the last championship sprint race of the year, and they will start in this order. Mark Skaife going for his first clean sweep. Lowndes, Bright, Tander, Radicic, and Ellery watch Radicic in 5. McLean and Bow. That was a good battle in the previous race.
Jason Bargwanna, the big performer, 28. Finished 9th. Amazing performance. Larry Perkins, Russell Ingall, and Dickie Johnson.
Dick's final sprint race. Greg Murphy clawing his way back in 17th, but still a lot of work to do in this third one. So too for Crompton. We see Darren Pate back there in 22nd and Peter Dillman in 24.
Nash, Smurden, Rodney Forbes, John Faulkner. He's missed the cut for this final heat. Mark Larkham, Mick Donoghue, Paul Wheel, and John Briggs.
Well, he comes in. He hasn't raced in the previous two, so John Briggs gets a start in this one. And we get ready. Well, a very important race points-wise. After the first two races, Tander has moved up into 5th in the championship. Get ready to go. The final sprint race of the year. Will Skaife make it 3? Away we go. Lowndes did get away to a good start, but Skaife has got the momentum on the inside. So too to Jason Bright, and look at Radicic. Radicic on the inside of Garth Tander. He's there. Bow tries to tug across. Larry Perkins got away to a brilliant start too.
Brighty, good start from him.
Right up the inside, trying to split the mobile team once again. Stephen Ellery right up on the curves.
Oh dear,
Jason Bargwanna.
Boggs and JB. Oh, JB manages to get back again.
Bargwanna's gone for the race, that's it, unless he can turn it around out of there and get across, but he opens the door.
He's had a rotten day, fought his way up from 28th to 9th, start of this third heat, finds himself out in the shrubs. So it has not been a good day, but he's Garth Tander having a great day in the sister car.
Ellery did come through quite forcefully on the inside as they swoop under the bridge on the opening lap of 17. Let's hope we get a clean run in this one. It is 1 and 2, the Mobile Holden Racing Team, as it's been all day. They have won here for the past 3 years in a row. Brock in 96, Murphy in 97, and Lowndes last year. It looks pretty much like it's going to be Skaife today.
You can get the HRT cars in the first lap. They pull out that cushion. That's sort of almost a second, if you like, and look at that gap. Now that gap stays more or less the same for the race distance. Right, let's have a look here. Oh, that's Bargs coming on the left there, and JB was just lucky that it wasn't in the deep mire. And get a little look there, just have a see if everything was clear. Come back.
So Bargs' car wasn't turning at all. He had a ton of left lock on the car, but it was just going straight ahead. No, you're right, Baz. I was talking to Jason Bright after Heat 2, and he was just saying, I cannot believe how much speed they get out of those cars in those opening 2 laps. That's where we can't match them.
That's dead right, and then it stays sort of status quo after that, and then towards the end of the race, maybe they back off or whatever, but I just can't understand how they can get so much temperature into the tyres and get it all to the ground and the drive and everything.
Well, they're very, very good at suspension and shock tuning. It really is a shock absorber championship these days. One of the freedoms that the teams were allowed in the past have been restricted. So a lot of energy, a lot of development time and money going into shock absorbers to make these tyres work, and obviously HRT are doing the best job of it at the moment.
Keep your eye on Russell Ingall. He's well placed in 8th. He's right behind Stephen Ellery and Cameron McLean, and on the way forward. The Enforcer needs the championship points, and that little skirmish in the previous race didn't help him. We join him on board now, tearing down into the kink. As a quick look behind, he's got Stephen Richards in the Wins Racing Kmart Commodore right up. As we look at Stephen Ellery ahead, the 2 EL Falcons, the 2 guys who qualified so well, and Ellery taking a very defensive line, trying to keep Ingall at bay.
Pretty tough to find a break in this line of traffic. All these cars, 20 cars covered by less than a second. You've got to wait for the guy in front to make the slightest boo-boo so he can get an advantage. Ingall's finding that now. He's going very quickly, but he's stuck in a long line of equally fast cars.
Murphy further back has been quick to pounce too. He's made up 4 quick positions, 17 to 13.
The problem is then you get up, as Mark's just set up behind Russell, who's behind Stephen Ellery, and then you're in like a traffic jam, and there's really very little way out of it.
Craig Lowndes trying to get through on the inside of his teammate Mark Skaife. Now, for all the wins that Mark has had this season, he hasn't got a clean sweep yet. So today here at Oran Park, it looks good. And they have got quite a handy buffer over the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright.
This is it's Emazides. Round and round we go.
For the second time today. Whether he was helped around, it was a little bit difficult to see. So these guys doing it comfy. Wow,
look at
Peter
that.
Dillman.
Wow.
The Gatorade Commodore has climbed the tyre wall.
And he's just, you can see him moving around in the cockpit there.
That's what you call getting unloaded. Calling for
That is a mate. Oh, what's Larry?
medical assistance, so I hope Peter Dillman's okay.
Oh, it's
that's Dick Johnson.
DJ.
Well, what a rotten way for this champion to finish his sprint racing career. Big damage to the Shell number 17 Ford.
Talk about a tough race 3. It's happening everywhere. People are getting clobbered left, right, and centre. So they are going off by the second.
Look at that. That's a wallop up the backside. One in the front. It's
Safety car.
As you would imagine, goes out.
Third time today.
Look at that.
Now, Dillman got his helmet off. Let's hope he's okay inside the Gatorade Commodore. He's given that wall a wallop. Let's have a look on the Shell Helix replay. Oh, it's down there.
That is in a super fast section of the track.
Yeah, just as you come over the top there, it's sort of the left turn to go down the hill, and he's gone straight on.
180 kilometres an hour when they come over the dogleg there. You get out of shape or get off the track, you pay a big price, and there it is there, Peter Dillman. Fortunately, that tyre barrier and the sand trap doing its job of retarding that car before it reached the crowd. But boy, that was a close one.
Well, we've seen the safety car come out in all 3 races today. It's been a pretty brutal day at Oran Park. And here's a replay of a separate incident. This is with Perkins.
Oh, it's Larry. Well, couldn't really see why he went round there. But, yeah, this is... You see, this is the problem. Everybody's racing there right up one another's bottle, for want of a better word. And something goes wrong, everybody stamps on the brakes, and they hit each other at the backside, left, right, and centre.
That's the story behind the damage to Dick Johnson's car.
Well, we'll be under safety car conditions until they can remove the Dillman Gatorade Commodore off the wall. There are your standings on the Shell Helix race score. Stay with us on your home of motorsport. There's plenty more right after this. Welcome back to Oran Park. We are pleased to say that Peter Dillman in the Gatorade Commodore is okay, and he's been taken out of the car and the car removed from the safety wall. They're just about to come up to the area of the circuit where, unfortunately, Peter went off and crashed very heavily into that tyre barrier. But just repeating, he is okay, and we are about to go back under green. There will be 10 laps of racing in this third and final race. The safety car is off. We see green. Away we go.
Yeah, I can't understand. Well, look at the gap that Jason... I think Jason should... I don't know whether he knew the safety car was coming back in then, but he seemed to be a long, long way back behind the HRT guys.
Down under the bridge for the first time. Russell Ingall up behind Stephen Ellery in the Falcon. Look at Jason Bright. This is the closest he's ever been.
Yet he was so far back in the straight.
Another incredible run by Cam McLean in the Greenfield Mowers Ford. Let's hope he can remain up there. As Bright, we watch with much interest if he can apply some pressure to Craig Lowndes. We did see him pass Craig Lowndes in the previous race, only to see Lowndes get back on him at the restart. And Ellery will be under plenty of pressure, you can be guaranteed that, from Russell Ingall and Stephen Richards.
I don't know what sort of shape Ellery's tyres are in there, but you see the back end of it was starting to hang out really badly, and it's there can't be that much temperature in the tyres because they've been rammed behind the safety car.
Well, that's the thing, these tyres without the bleed-off valves now, they take 2 or 3 laps to get up to optimum temperature and optimum pressure too. Pressure in these tyres is a critical factor to their performance, so first couple of laps out there is a little bit skaty, but the order remains the same. Mark Scaife in the team's brand new VT Commodore, ahead of Craig Lowndes, Jason Bright in third, Garth Tander in fourth, and Paul Radisich. Remarkable recovery today. He's up in 5th position.
I'm looking so forward to seeing him in the Enduros, Radisich, because under racing conditions he goes so well. Qualified 14th, he's now running 5th, and well, imagine what he could do with a good qualifier. He blew it at Simmons Plains, there's no disguising that fact, and then had a dreadful day from there on in, but he's going well.
Yeah, certainly he's the master of coming from the back, had he? No doubt about that.
Well, certainly knows a lot of race fans around Australia that hope the rat sticks around. He's only signed a 12-month contract with Dick Johnson for this year, but a lot of people have their fingers crossed he's going to re-sign. And it would be a shame to see him go because he's put in so much hard work this year, in terms of learning the car, learning the circuits, getting the most out of the car, if he didn't come back next year and capitalise on all that.
It'd be such a waste. And quite honestly, Mark, I can't think of anybody that with that amount of experience, tenacity, and that good a quality driver.
Who are you going to replace him with?
Exactly that.
And I mean, odds-on favourite to take over Dick Johnson's seat is his son Stephen. That's certainly not confirmed, but he's certainly one of the favourites. So that would make a pretty mean team next year in the Shell Helix outfit. Young Stephen Johnson and Paul Radicic. Longhurst has done well to recover from that.
Oh, that looked a bit close to it.
Almost squeezed through there. Word from the pits, Crompton came in with fuel pump problems, so it's been a pretty hard day for Crompton in the Ford Tickford Racing AU.
Pretty hard day for FTR generally.
Yeah, well, Seaton, in terms of the championship, has slipped back to 6th, and Garth Tander is up to 5th. So the last 2 rounds haven't been very profitable for Glenn Seaton.
Top 6 remain the same. Lowndes, Skate, Eagle, Bright. So they just said the order for 5th and 6th has changed between Tander and Seaton, but very, very tight amongst that top 6.
Some exciting news during the week for V8 fans and for the whole V8 family. Next June, the long weekend, we will see a Canberra street race. It will be called the National Capital 100, and it will be very similar to the sensational Adelaide 500 that we saw earlier this year. The response was brilliant. ACT Chief Minister Kate Carnell was very pleased to announce that Canberra had won the bid to stage a race, so we look forward to that the next year, 2000, on the June long weekend.
Sure do. What if we'll see a NASCAR race around the White House in 2001?
Yeah, I tell you what, you've got to hand it to Tony Cochrane, though, haven't you, really? Because he's certainly made this series what it is.
Tony Longhurst fighting back. He's had a wretched day. Found him in the sand trap on lap 1. And he spent the whole day fighting his way back. Now finds himself up in the top 10. He's in 10th position, up behind Stephen Richards.
And Greg Murphy's recovered well too. 11th at the moment. So it's a good run by these guys. You'll see Adam Macro, who was last year's Formula Ford champ, step in with Tony Longhurst for the 2 Enduros. He's been driving the car, and Tony is very pleased with him. And we know that Tony's very good in the endurance races as Seaton charges hard. Bow back there after that incident in the first corner with Ellery and Bargwana. So Bow's currently running 13th. Great job by Trevor Ashby.